Recording in progress.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey.
How are you? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna have Donna assistant come up today. Gonna be Donna assistant doing the intro for you. Okay.
Okay, great.
She's gonna comes up and I'm gonna start the intro. Give me a second.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Myra Chen, and I'm your host for today's eLotus webinar. eLotus is the leading provider of continuing education for acupuncturists. You are probably wondering, who is this new person? I am the niece of Dr. John and Tina Chen, and I have just enrolled in a TCM school this year. I hope to enrich myself with the knowledge and wisdom of our ancestors and also the great doctors of today so I can carry on the torch and continue to spread the pearls of Chinese medicine worldwide. You are probably also wondering, where is Donna? Well, she is right over there training me. Hi, Donna. Aside from my family, she is my biggest mentor, and I am very fortunate and grateful to have her coaching me today and to be your MC and host for this event. This is my first weekday seminar, so if I goof up, please excuse me. Today's webinar is Painless and Effective Abdominal Acupuncture for Chronic Pain, presented by Aaron Zizov. Before we begin, let's do a little housekeeping. Today's webinar will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time, and we will have one break. If you have not already, please get your copy of the lecture notes from the blue course access page in your account. If you'd like to join the chat, please do the following right now. Set your chat preference to everyone so that everyone can see what you're typing. You'll have to do this manually because the default setting allows only the speaker and staff to see what you're writing. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in your Zoom control panel. Our speaker will answer the questions as time allows. The quiz and the video replay will both be available tomorrow, and you will receive an email notification when they are. If you are interested in abdominal acupuncture and feel like you would like to learn more about it, we do have two other speakers, Paul Ryan and Dave Shipsey, who gave full-day courses and now are available as video. Feel free to check out the website and search for these two speakers, and their abdominal acupuncture courses should show up. Again, the speakers' names are Paul Ryan and Dave Shipsey. Our speaker today is Aaron Zizov, who completed his graduate studies in acupuncture, herbal medicine, and shiatsu in 2004 from Medicine College in Tel Aviv, Israel. Aaron specializes in gynecology and Chinese cosmetology and has taught at leading colleges in Israel. He has taught with us the topics of Chinese cosmetology, tongue diagnosis, and Chinese astrology, and you can find these courses at elotus.org. I'll share the link with you once I get back to my computer. We are honored to have Aaron joining us today, all the way from Tel Aviv. So let's go ahead and give him a big welcome. Aaron, will you please take over now and share your PowerPoint?
Yes, thank you very much and welcome. It's good to see and nice to see new faces. So have good luck in your new position. And hi all, hi everybody. I'm honored to be here and excited to be here once again. Thank you to eLotus, Donna, and all the staff, Sam, Rina. And I'm happy and excited to do this seminar today. I will share, we'll just do the sharing, and let me just make sure it works. And okay. Yeah, I believe it's the presentation now. And okay, so to all of you, I see more than 90 participants. Honored to share with you this information today, this knowledge about the abdominal acupuncture. I will start with just a little description of what we're going to talk about on the next like 4 hours. And So I will start with introducing this method, how I studied it, where I studied it, and the method itself, how it works, all the advantages, the mechanism, the indications, contraindications, treatment and techniques, expected results from these treatments, the abdominal meridians. I will introduce them in a kind of visual and I hope easy way to remember, to understand them. The abdominal turtle, which is the whole idea of this method, and the abdominal Ba Gua. There's like three different ways according to the different levels that we can work on the abdomen. And at the end, I will give some protocols and some case studies with the photographs of the different treatments that I used. So in case you have any question, I will check the chat box once in a while. And we're gonna have a break in like 2 hours. We'll see exactly where we'll stand, but approximately in 2 hours, which means 11 a.m. For me, it's 7 p.m. now in Tel Aviv. But for you, for most of you, from what I've seen, it's like morning. So 11 p.m. on Pacific time. We're gonna have a break of like, I believe like 15 minutes and so. And anyway, questions in the chat box, and we are starting right now. So first of all, the abdominal acupuncture, or called also the Fujian, it's the turtle system, known as the turtle system. It was developed and kind of invented by Professor Bo Zhiyun. I didn't meet him in person, but the teacher I was studying with is Dr. Xuan Lihua from the Zhejiang Provincial Hospital in China. So I was there in 2008 in that hospital for a few months. I met her there, Dr. Xuan, and 10 years after, in 2018, she came to Israel to give like a lecture, and I met her again. So you can see here, she's sitting in the clinic in China, in the hospital actually, where we used to see her patients, something like, I think 450 to 500 patients a day. And at the beginning, it looked to us as something like this. Me and my wife, we studied there. We didn't understand what we see. We didn't have a proper class those days because there were not so many students those days in China because it was after the Olympic Games. So only some foreigners were allowed to get into China. So we were lucky to be there. Like at the beginning, we were the only students from abroad or like participants. So this is how we saw the treatments, and we really didn't understand what she's doing. So I have all my writings on my notebook, some approximate points and some, I believe this is CV12, CV10, but I didn't really understand the connection of these points. So anyway, this method is, so at the beginning, this is how we looked at that. After 2 or 3 weeks, we got a proper class understanding this method. And since then, it was really like very, very, very interesting to see. And after that, to practice too. So this method was developed. It's quite new method for new in terms of Chinese medicine. It's like only 40 years. It was under the development of Dr. Professor Bo, after like 20 years of research. And it's based on, of course, ancient knowledge with classical diagnosis and treatment based on the abdomen from different positions, different areas. Later on, I will talk about also the Ba Gua and how it's connected too. But I think since then it's developing more and more, and there's lots of practice, and it's kind of very appreciated by many even Chinese doctors, I will say. It's very effective, and therefore, I really recommend it. So anyway, Professor Bo discovered that there are different levels of the abdominal tissues. There's the prenatal system, which is through the umbilicus cord, where we get, when we are babies in the womb, we get all what we need through the umbilicus cord. And this is like the prenatal system that still exists there. And the postnatal system is demonstrating that even after, like the postnatal energy, after we are born, the area around the navel is still active, very active, and actually continues to stimulate qi and blood, or circulate qi and blood to all over the body with this model of understanding. So every level is positioned in a different layer or different level in the abdomen, when the area, the main area, or the center of all the system is the CV8 or REN8. Okay, I call it CV, but it's like REN-MY, but CV is conception vessel. Okay, so if you're going to hear me during this lecture saying CV, so that's the meaning of that. Okay, conception vessel. So this is like the original map where we can see the different areas. So it's kind of blurred, I know, but I have different ways to demonstrate it later on. But this is how I studied it. There were no books those days. Even today, I'm not sure there's many books on this method. Maybe I'll write one day. But anyway, there's like the understanding by the different meridians here in the picture in the center, meridians that go through the abdomen. We have REN-MY, we have kidney, we have stomach, spleen, liver, gallbladder. And we have the turtle shape on the abdomen. Again, later on, I will explain it deeply. And we have the Ba Gua placed on the abdomen with all what it represents. And this method, we can say that before the advantages even, the theory is basically somatotopic system, same as we can say, as we can see on the scalp or on the eye, as not only diagnosis, but also treatment. Of course, we can diagnose in every single area in the body. Okay, next week, by the way, I have a lecture about sujok, like the Korean acupuncture, which is all the body is in the hand and in the leg, like palm and feet. So it's another somatotopic system. So besides diagnosis, we can also treat on different levels and on different parts or different organ systems, different meridians through specific zones. So we can say we have the scalp acupuncture, if it's the Chinese one, or if it's the Japanese of Yamamoto. We have the ear, we have the tongue as diagnosis, we have the face, we have the abdomen, obviously, we have hand, hand, feet, we have front mu and back shoe points. Basically, we have many methods. And this brings me to the advantages of that. So as a somatotopic system, we can treat distanced area in the body. It means that, and for me, actually, it's very easy in practice, that patients don't really need to take all their clothes off, and in order to get to a specific point. It's comfortable for me, it's comfortable for them. It's painless. There's no need in getting a sensation of qi, like dead qi. And for patients who are basically afraid of acupuncture, afraid of the needling, afraid of the pain, they don't really feel. It's again, this system is the method of acupuncture. I will explain also later, but the method is superficial puncturing, and we don't need to get to the muscles, basically. So it's all on the layer of the skin or the fat layer under the skin, but just above the muscle. And it's very important in cases that we want to treat patients who are not able to suffer in a way from this treatment. Now, it's also very safe because of these levels. We don't hurt any important areas, or we are not close to veins like I don't know, lung 9 or pericard 7, 6, when we are close to the nerve even, and it might be painful. It's not the Jing-Well points, which are very, very effective and very strong in their effect, but they are painful, very painful. So it's safe. We can't make any damage. And it's very important also with that. It's fast. It's fast with the results that we get. When a patient lays on the bed, I will expect to get a change immediately. It might be immediately or maybe after the treatment, but until the next treatment, I must see any kind of change in the effect. And again, I will talk about this also later. It's easy to use for all ages. I don't really treat babies or little children, but I think from the age of maybe 6 or even 10 for sure, till old age, like I have patients above 85, 80, even 90 years old, and it's very easy for them to get this kind of treatment because they just need to lay on the back. It's easy. Everyone can do that. I mean, most of the patients can do that. I have some patients who are not able to do that and they need to sit because of pain issues. But basically, it's easy to use. They don't need to lay on the abdomen. Many old people or people with the pain issues, they're not able to lay on the abdomen. Like for me to treat the back might be a bit difficult sometimes. And also, we don't need any other areas in the body. I mean, again, we can combine regular treatment on the meridians, but it's not always necessary, I will say. So they don't even need to take the shoes off, okay? So it's very easy for them, very easy for me, very fast. I have days in my practice where I see 40 patients in like 6 or 7 hours. I work on few rooms and sometimes 5 or 6 rooms even, as much as I get in the clinic. And for me, it's very easy, it's very fast. I don't need, and again, when you get the system, when you understand how to do it, it's very fast. When you take the measures or the measurements of the point location, it's very easy, very fast. When the patient lays on the back, you can, if it's a shoulder pain, okay, and there's the difficulty to lift the hand up. So when the patient lays on the back, okay, so easy. I check before, okay, lift your hand up. And if it's till here, okay, then I find, I puncture, I do the point which is connected to the shoulder, and then I ask the patient again, okay, lift the hand. And then, okay, wow, it goes upper. If not, I need to check again what to do and how to do, okay? It's also innovative. It's like there are new extra points on the abdomen, which are not on the classical points of the meridians. And also, again, any new method is accepted by us, and we are happy to gain new knowledge also in Chinese medicine, which is so ancient and has lots of history, thousands of years of practice. So all this together gives us many advantages. The mechanism is based on the treatment of basically the mother mother system of all the meridians, like Shen Chui CV8, which works through, or like affects through the umbilicus cord, that nourishes all the body, or the little baby in the womb. Again, as I mentioned, it continues to circulate the qi and the blood to all the other areas in the body. And it's like the area is active, it's very active. And there's kind of energetic sensitivity there that continues to spread the qi and blood, where again, CV8 is the center of all the system, of all the method. We don't puncture CV8. We can work with the moxa. In China, in China, they put usually moxa over salt or over above ginger. There are all kinds of or like a little cake of herbs that they make, and they put it on the area of the abdomen, or mostly around the navel. And in this way, there's kind of again heat and all the indications from the herbs, or all the energy of the herbs that goes through this system to all over the place. So again, superficial acupuncture in 3 levels, which means in this one, wait, I will explain it later. Yeah, next one. So the indications, I use it mostly for all kinds of pain. If it's joints, if it's the spine, if it's like specific areas, it's very easy for us to work all over the body, on all the body. And I have cases where I treat headaches or migraines with neck problems and lower back pain together. Okay, I can, for me, it's just to put a few more needles, and I don't need again to go to all the meridians in the body. It just works locally on that specific area, and again, it works amazingly. I see, again, the indications, the main indications by Professor Bo is that it works better for chronic conditions. But I must admit that I see that it works also in acute conditions very well. It's better for weak patients because, again, through the abdomen we can work on the deepest levels of also the postnatal energy, working on the levels of the 5 elements of the yin and yang, or working on strengthening or tonifying the postnatal qi with the connection to the pre-heaven qi of the patient. Conditions of stroke, there's a better function and circulation for the brain through this method after treatments that don't improve by TCM. So usually when a patient comes to me for the first time, I will do the protocols which I know that works. Okay, any kind of case, I don't know, doesn't matter. I will check the tongue, I will check the pulse, I will look, I will feel, I will palpate different areas of meridians according to the main complaint. And so, for example, if it's lower back pain, okay, lower back pain, it's on the bladder meridian, so I can work on the bladder if I work traditional TCM. I can work on kidney if I want to balance, or I can work on lung if I want to, again, work with balance method. I have many ways to work, to check and to work. And usually I have my basic protocols which I use, and I expect a change. Even again, if you work with the balance method, Dr. Tan, Master Dong, scalp acupuncture, anything that you work with, I will mostly I will prefer on the first few, maybe 2 or 3 treatments, not to treat locally. on the area of the problem. And the reason is that I want to see something changes. The beginning of the treatment is very important for getting the patient's trust. So patients who are, patient that heard about acupuncture, that it works for this, for that, they come with expectations, and they come when they suffer. Most of the patients come when they feel bad, not when they feel good. Okay. After they do kind of a few treatments or a few series of treatments, they will understand the benefits of maintenance and prevention, and they will keep coming on I don't know, once a week, once every 2 weeks, or once a month. I have patients like 14 years that comes once every 2 weeks or every month, because they feel it's good for them. They know it's good. They feel good. Okay, it's good for all of us. Okay, of course, I will always tell them that that the most important thing is for them to take responsibility over their health by the maintenance with exercise, stretching, keeping a good diet, and all we know, which is good according to Chinese medicine. But if they don't have the ability, or they don't have enough I don't know how to say it. There are cases that they cannot take the responsibility, and they need our help. So if they need my help, I will help them. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say basically is that on the first few treatments, I will prefer not to touch the area that hurts, because I want to see immediate change during the treatment to be able to understand that my treatment is working. So if I do my basic protocols and I work with them, and there's no change after mostly 3 treatments, I must change my protocol. I must change maybe the diagnosis is not good. So I will go deeper into diagnosis, or maybe the treatment that I did was not good enough for that time. And in these cases, I can go to abdominal. In many other cases, by the way, I will start from the beginning with abdominal acupuncture, because again, I know it works well. But we always have the doubt, maybe it's not enough, I don't know. So I might combine also some other distal points together with it. But again, when a patient comes at the beginning, sometimes there are many things, or many, I will say, many issues that we need to solve. But the most important thing is for the patient is to feel better and fast as possible. So again, to use the abdominal acupuncture in these cases, is a good way. I mentioned this earlier, patients that are afraid of needles, and if they are, again, if my main or my basic protocol will be with Jing well points and working on the tendomuscular meridians for pain issues, of course, abdominal will be much easier for them to digest in a way. So it's much, it's less painful, obviously. Okay, so these are the main indications. Contraindications that we might see or need to understand. So if there's acute abdominal pain without a known cause, I need to understand what's going on inside. And if my diagnosis or patient come without exact diagnosis, and my diagnosis also, I don't understand what the cause, I will not do the abdominal. Of course, I can do other treatments, obviously. Cancer in the abdomen, big no-no. I don't want to treat that. Pregnancy, also from same reason. I don't want to make any damage. If there's tendency to bleeding, it's not like, it's more to be careful. Tendency to bleeding because of blood thinning medication or any other case. It's not that it will make harm for the patient, but we don't want, we don't want so many bruises for the patients to go home with, and sometimes it can be like a big bruise. So of course, in advance, I will say it might happen, and they need to understand. And I explain it all the time before the first treatment. I explain it might happen because basically we're putting needles in the body, and they go. Sometimes they get, even if it's on the most superficial level, we might get bruised. Okay, I puncture face a lot with the cosmetic acupuncture, so it might happen. It doesn't happen much, but if it happens, I want the patient to be aware of that. So tendency to bleeding, here mostly it will be, Israel is very sunny, like California in a way, very sunny place. People go to the beach even till, I think, last week. Now it's December, but still beach was available and open, and it was hot enough. So if women go with, a bikini and they want to keep the abdomen clean in a way without bruises, so I will avoid maybe this method. Okay, so the treatment and the technique. So I was talking about the depth of the acupuncture. So superficial is just on the skin, if it's like, maybe I planned, maybe just 1 second. I have an example that I can use this Clementine. So I will just take some needles and I will just demonstrate what is superficial. So I don't know how much you can see, but when I will get this closer, maybe I think it will be okay this way. So superficial, I'm working with this method. I'm working with tube. It's now if you work with tubes, one of the things is that when you just press the needle, you can see that you have something like 3-4 millimeters where the needle comes out from the tube. So the superficial needling will be even more superficial than this, okay? Because we want to be only on the skin. Now the skin depends on the patient. If the patient is fat or thin, of course, the skin layer might be thicker or thinner. But basically what I will do is just I'm just putting the tube, not touching anything, and then just little puncture. Okay, that's it. There's no need in putting the needle even deeper. Sometimes the needle even will be this way. It will almost fall down. Okay, it will be very, very superficial. Again, I will do it even more superficial. I will try to find the position exactly. Okay, very superficial. Now, if I go to the medium, which goes under the skin, it means if the skin is something like 1 or 2 millimeters, I don't know I'm working with the metric system here, so I don't know the inches or the understanding, like the American understanding of anyway. So the medium will be under the skin, which is maybe 2 millimeters more deeper. So I will put it next to it. Okay. So I'm just puncturing, and then I'm just pushing the needle just a bit more. Okay. Well, maybe it's too much. Just putting it a bit more. I will put it under my black shirt. Okay. So this is like the medium. And the deep, which is above the muscle or under the fat, okay, the deep will be, I'm just puncturing, and then I'm like pushing the needle a bit more until I feel it becomes a bit harder. Okay, and there I stop, because then I'm in the muscle, or I'm getting into the muscle. Okay, so these are like the 3 levels. Now, of course, it's very challenging to demonstrate it on camera, online, and not in a frontal way. But anyway, this is a way to. This is my way to demonstrate it on the best option to do that. Okay, so I hope it's understood. And so this is about the depth of the acupuncture. Okay, I didn't check the questions yet. I will just finish this slide and then I will check if there are questions. Okay, so the next part is stimulation. So basically we don't need, there's no need in making stimulation, but if it's a fat patient that we want to work a bit stronger and to stimulate in a way, so we just tap the needle, just a bit, little tapping. Okay. Now, if the needle is lying, okay, if it's, oh, oops, never mind. If it's laying in this way, like this one, so I will just make a slight change on the direction of the needle. Okay, like change it to a few positions. Okay, if it's the center, okay, I will take it out, change direction, and in. I don't know if you can see, but and we can make some little movements during the treatment. So if the average treatment is between 20 to 30 minutes, so every like 10 minutes or twice during the treatment, I will come and I will make some little movements. The order of needling is starting from the deepest levels when I want to work on the elements or on the internal organs. After that, so I will start with using these needles. Then I will work on meridians, which is like the medium level. And then on the symptoms, on the most superficial way. And again, depends what we want to do in the treatment. If we just work on superficial, just on pain issues, we don't need to go too deep into the deepest levels and balancing the elements. So it will be good enough for us, okay? So, and the time, again, between the, I will say 30 minutes will be better, but 20 minutes is also enough. Okay, so more indications and then I'll check questions. Possible to add points from meridians by the function. Okay, if I want to work on abdomen or on digestive system, I will combine spleen, stomach meridians or pericard meridian in order to balance the whole system. Okay, but again, it depends on what we want to do. If I want to work on the back, I can combine points on the bladder, on the legs, on the small intestine, like working on all the level or division. It's possible to add, to add acupoints next to the main points. I will later on the examples that I have, you will see the like the main points. So for example, stomach 24 is connected to the shoulder. Okay, but the shoulder might be wide, so just the point, so stomach 24 might be good for here, but the pain is here. So I can add other points combined. It means acupoints on the abdomen. Okay, that's what I mean. Possible to add electroacupuncture, recommended to treat twice a week, but again, it depends on on the patient, what they can do, how many times they can come. In acute conditions, I will say 3 times a week or even every day. Okay, I think when patients are able to come every day, they will be healed and cured much faster. Okay, it's that's for sure. And if they can afford it, if they have the time for it, it's better. Puncture in the same side of the problem. So if there is a facial paralysis, and I want to work on the head area on the abdomen, which is the area of stomach 12, and I want not on the midline, okay, sorry, not stomach 12, REN 12, CV12. And I want, so CV12 is working on the midline. If I want to go a bit aside, so I need to put the needles a bit on the side of CV12. Okay, so the needles will be at the same side. This is how I use it, but there are also other doctors that use it from the other side. Okay, same as balance method, you can work on either side. So you just need to try and to see what works the best for your patients. We need to pay attention that sometimes the CV, the REN-MY line is not exactly in the middle. So we need to look, we need to feel, and to find the exact location by that. Women after pregnancies, the whole abdomen is changing, in a bit. The muscles move, so we need to pay attention to that. And points on the CV channel usually will be punctured more deeply. Okay, just these indications. Okay, I will just check the chat. Okay, so let me. Okay, I'm still in the good morning, good morning, good morning. And so, Lana, did you learn naval acu there as well? No, I didn't. Just the abdominal. It was in China. Sorry, I'm just going back according to the questions. I just went to observe and different clinics to observe acupuncture and herbs, and just the abdominal. So I don't use the navel. Yeah, in 2008, it was very difficult to find even that poster. I bought it for a lot of money, and then I saw it in one of the libraries there. But yeah, in 2000, I believe it wasn't there yet. Scar tissue in the abdomen from surgeries. If there are scars, I will first work on the scar. I will what's so-called open the scar, like treating surrounding the dragon for maybe 2, maximum 3 treatments. And because it might affect the whole, mostly in C-sections, when women have like a big scar in the abdomen, it will be it kind of cuts the whole flow of the meridian, mostly on the superficial level of the skin. So in my opinion, there's a need to open the scars first, and then after that, because you know what, there's another understanding for that. If the scar has a color which is kind of red, reddish or brown, or not the same color of the skin, it needs to be open. If the color is good, so probably it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so if I combine abdominal acupuncture with tongue, it's possible. I do a bit tongue acupuncture. Mostly I use classical acupuncture or 5 elements or balance method. Okay, so chronic, but have good experience lowering high blood pressure with abdominal. Yeah, okay, so yeah, for sure. I mean, any other conditions, I didn't mention it because the topic today is chronic pain or pain issues, basically. But of course, I work also on other conditions, emotional conditions a lot, and it works amazing for emotional issues, tiredness, fatigue, depression, stress. I have later some examples. So mostly for pain, yes. The deepest level again. Okay, I don't know if I answered that yet, but I will, Victoria, about your question. So deepest level is all about feeling. It's very difficult to explain it again through the screen even more. So you must experience it. I'll go again to my Mandarin. If Clementine, so if I'm puncturing the abdomen, now again, imagine average person, not so fat, not so thin. If you just, I'll go again once again. I'll put this out. So if I'm just puncturing once, then I'm on the superficial or even medium level. Now I need to go to push the needle a bit deeper, but slowly. I do it slowly. And I need to feel the sensation of getting to a harder tissue. It's like, I don't know if feeling or like sensation of chi, but it's like feeling. I will try to show you how we do it. So I just puncture. Now here, I got a bit deeper. You know what? Maybe I'll just open it. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So you can see this. I open, it's like opening the skin from the belly. So what I did is basically just punctured, I'm here. When I go a bit deeper, I hope you can see that, I feel suddenly the tissue is becoming a bit harder. And there I stop. So I just need to go under the fat layer. So again, depends. If the patient is fat, I will go deeper. Usually I use 4 centimeters of needles. It's like, I don't know, 4 centimeters, how it's in the other method of measuring. But yeah, this, and sometimes even a longer one. In cases of fat patients, I will go deeper. So this is about the deepest level, but again, I don't need to get more deep. I mean, if I feel muscle, I will pull it a bit out. Yeah, stops. Yeah, this method is not working on the muscle level. Okay, and have you ever treated PTSD kind of issues? Yeah, so again, many, so post-traumatic syndrome disorders, I treat a lot. Unfortunately, we have a lot of tension here and lots of stress with people for all kinds of reasons. So I have some examples at the end of the seminar, of the class. What about people who had surgery on REN channel? So if it's on the REN channel and the REN channel is blocked, I will go a bit to the side. It will be mostly to the kidney, and I will puncture. So if it's the scar in the midline, and instead of puncturing directly, I will go from the side and under the scar. So it will be kind of between the kidney and CV channels, but I will do it from the side, okay, not on the scar. It will not be effective. So from the side and a bit directed to the CV level. So please describe searching for the CV off center. So usually you can see when you take the measurements from CV17, CV16 to the, later I will explain how to measure. But if I see that the chest or CV17 is not in a straight line with CV12, CV8 or with the umbilicus, so then I need to find, even just to palpate, to go through the abdomen, like to feel it, to feel the same tissue, kind of. Okay, but it's possible to see, mostly if the patient is not so skinny. Okay, if they have a bit fat, we can see how the skin moves a bit. Okay, it's possible to see it. It's not that difficult, but you just need to see that you need to be in a straight line, but it might have a little curve. Okay, you can see it. Sometimes it's just very obvious. Okay, myofascial release also works on scars. Okay, yeah, good. Does the appearance of the abdomen also change as well? The appearance of the abdomen, Susan Della, I didn't really understand in which connection you asked this, the appearance of the abdomen. In which cases? If it's about the scars, it might. I mean, suddenly there's more blood flow, if this is what you meant. So it's possible to see that. Hair loss. Hair loss is also possible. I use it a lot. I will explain later on. But on the head area. Okay, soon you'll be able to see, the map exactly, and it will be easier to understand it. Rectus abdominis. Yeah. So what kind and gauss of needles do you use? It looks like you're using one soon on the screen. No, it's 4 centimeters. If someone can, I don't want to do it right now. I didn't think about the different measuring systems, but this is like, it's not 4. No, this is quite long. I don't know, 4 centimeters. If someone can check the measurements in comparison to your measurements. But I use Dongbang, not any promotion, it's a Korean needle I really like to use, very sharp, very tender. 2 inches, okay, 2 inches, 4 centimeters, okay. Okay, so again, let me see. Okay, I think I'm done with the questions. Okay, so I will continue with your permission. Okay, so, okay, 1.6 inches, 4 centimeters is 1.6 inches. I'll try to remember that. Okay, so expected results. As I mentioned, I expect immediate results, which means patient, I will, if it's the first treatment or the first meeting, and I need to decide which kind of treatment I will do. Mostly with orthopedic and pain issues, I'm using like stretching. I need to see. So if it's neck, it's the easiest way to show. So if a patient comes with neck pain, so I want to understand which meridians are affected. Okay, if I want to work specifically on meridians, but also to understand how to direct, if I want to combine with the abdominal acupuncture, I want to combine also meridians. So it's important for me to know which meridian is affected. So it can be stomach, it can be a large intestine, can be a triple or small intestine, can be bladder, gallbladder, renmai, dumai, many options, right? So I need to understand, first of all, so I will check maybe this one and this one and this one and this one. According to this, I understand which meridian is affected, and I will treat with the meridian system. But if they lay on the back, and I will ask them, so if it's difficult to move the head to the side, they can do that on the bed also when they lay on the bed, okay? So I will ask them to do that before I puncture and to tell me how strong the pain is, 1 to 10, or where exactly they feel it, in which area. Then I will do the puncturing and I will tell them immediately, okay, do it once again. Let me see if something changed. If it didn't change, I need to change my treatment in a way. So I will expect during the treatment to see a difference. Many times they will come after that meeting and they will say, in most of the cases, they say, yeah, I felt better. Okay, it was good for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I don't know if I see them once a week in average. So I will expect the changes then. If there's no change, I need to check the location while I'm puncturing, yes? To check the location once again and to check the depth. So I will take again the measurements of how I located the points, and I will do that once again. About the depth, I will see, I will take it a bit out and a bit in. I will change directions. Maybe I will add a few more. Usually if I put a needle, I will not take it out. I will add to that more, okay? Because the effect might be stronger and wider in a way. If the condition becomes worse, it happens not so much, but if it becomes worse, I will pull the needle out and check again the position. Okay, if it still continues, I will pull it out and continue with other method maybe. Okay. So, okay. So any questions so far? Let me see. Okay, good. So now I will start with abdominal meridians. So this, I wish we could see these kind of abdomens in the practice, but it's the easiest way to demonstrate the different positions. And here we go. So we have the different meridians. We have the CV, the conception vessel, and I will not go to point location now, okay? I believe you all know how to find different points, but some main points that we need to understand are CV17, which is in the middle between the nipples, okay, in that level, and CV16, which from there we start measuring the points. Now, I don't know if you had it in your studies, but at the beginning we had like a measurement, like a meter, kind of meter that measures all zones all over the body. So if you have difficulties in finding these points on the abdomen, you can use that. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Okay, it's like a rubber with some the zones on it, like the measurements of one zone, and you can do even half a zone, and you just take all the measurements. So we need to see that between CV8, like you feel I do it by hands. So I put my little finger on the area of CV16, and I measure with the other finger till I get to the middle. Like I mean, the other little finger is in CV8, so 1 and 16, 1 and 8, and then I need to find the middle. Okay, so just I hope this is okay. So CV8, CV16, and then the 2 fingers, and then I just need to find that I'm exactly in the middle. With this, I point CV12. Okay, and just few words maybe on the points while I'm talking about them. You know what? First I will just show all the meridians, and then I will talk about specific points and their indications. So this is the CV. We need to pay attention. CV16, CV12, CV8, CV6, and CV4 are also important points for us. CV6 will be on the first belly that we feel. We all have them. Maybe this guy, this model, maybe he doesn't have it much, but still we can feel it. Okay, we slide the finger from the navel to the first belly. And then the second belly is CV4. Then we have the kidney channel that is half a tune from the center, from CV. Important points that we have later on, I will talk, okay? We have the stomach, which is 2 tunes from the CV. And 2 tunes, it means that it's on the highest area of the muscle, okay, of the 6-pack, yes? Okay, so this is stomach channel. Now here in this specific picture, sorry, it's not equal. So I changed the positions a bit because he's a bit turned out to the side. Okay, so all the points are a bit on the left side, are a bit down. Then we have the spleen, which is 4 tunes from the center. And 4 tunes from the center, we need to feel the end of the muscle, okay, where it ends. So again, I slide from the highest level of the muscle, and I slide all the way until I feel it ends. So it's like, you know what, I will demonstrate on this. So if this is the highest point where stomach channel is, I will feel up until I fall down, yeah? Until I fall down, and this is the spleen line. Then we have also the liver with only 2 points on the abdominal area. We have on the lower part, but we have liver 13 and 14, and we have gallbladder, which is on the sides even more, not so useful in our acupuncture, but still we need to be aware of these points. So let me go through the next one, and then I will talk about points. Okay, so now we want to see the image of the turtle. The turtle we are talking about so much for so long, already 1 hour. So, okay. I wish it was my abdomen. It's not. Even in my good days, not this. No, but it's a very good example, I hope. Yeah, I wish. Not the color. My abdomen is more hairy, but never mind. Anyway, so ta-da! This is the turtle. So the turtle, we can see that it has. It's all my designs, by the way, because I didn't want to use any other, even though I didn't see such a good examples online of pictures, so I decided that I will design all of this by myself according to the exact locations, and I hope it will be useful for you. It took me a while, but this is part of being exact, I hope. because all the other online stuff I saw, pictures and so on, they're not so exact. And the original one, actually, I have it in front of me. I had it as a poster, as a big poster, but then I cut it to parts, okay, to the all parts, that it will be more useful in the clinic. So in this one, I hope you can see the turtle in this one. It has also the combination with the points and with the like meridians and so on. So again, that's the original. And this is my way of showing that. So the measurements of the turtle, the head, or it starts from CV12 and ends at CV3. Okay, CV4 is the main point, but the end of that is is CV3. We have a few positions where neck area is when we're on this level of CV10. Shoulders are stomach 24. Stomach 25 is the area of, let's say, belt area. And stomach 26 is the area of the hip. Now we will go a bit closer or deeper in the understanding. So when we look at the turtle, it's like turtle lying on his abdomen with face up. So we see now that the face area is where CV12 was, and it's more exact for the mouth area. Okay, but I didn't find the picture where the head is up, but the head is supposed to be up. So it means that the area of the head is between CV12 to CV13, which means if I want to work, maybe I can enlarge it somehow, okay? If I want to work specifically on the eyes, so it will be a bit, it will be just a bit aside from the CV line, okay? It's like if the kidney line is hafetzun and hafetzun from the CV line, so I need to go just a bit, I don't know, 1/3 of that. But we need to check if I want to work on the hair or on the forehead, it will be a bit down from CV13. Okay, if I want to work on this, I hope you can, maybe you don't see my mouse. Let me just spotlight, yes, spotlight. So I don't know if you saw before what I'm showing, but I'm just, okay. So anyway, it's like, so working, CV12 is here, CV13 is here, eyes are kind of in the middle between these two, ears will be a bit more in this on the side, forehead will be here, so if there's frontal headache right here, so just a bit under CV, so I will do CV12 and a bit under CV13 and a bit on the side. Okay, just you need to imagine it. Use your imagination and find the exact position. Okay. Okay. Now, so yes, so CV12 face, especially mouth, CV10 level of C7 vertebra. So you see all the cervical vertebrae here. CV9 is the area of T7, thoracal vertebra. CV6 is the area, okay, so CV6, yeah, right here. Yeah, so CV6 is the area of L2, L3. And CV4 is the area of L4, L5. And CV3 is the sacrum and the coccyx, which basically the end. CV3 is coccyx, just above it a bit, is the sacrum area. Okay, so a bit more about the measurements here. Before these points, yeah, you know what? I'll continue with this one. You know what? I'll go back once again here. So we have the CV line, we have the kidney, we have the stomach line, and the stomach line we have the shoulder and CV and stomach 24 and hip and stomach 26. If I want to go on the knee, to work on the knee, so I need to go lower hafetzun and lateral hafetzun. Okay, so this is basically the point abdominal 4. So all these points here on this slide are the new points, okay, that Professor Bo have found. So we have, you know, let's start from above, okay, with all the special points. We have, I will go through the whole indications of the point, but just for you to understand right now the locations, it will be easier for you later. So we have CV12, CV10. We have stomach 24, hafetzun lateral and above is abdomen 1. Abdomen 1, it's the elbow area. Abdomen 2 is basically hafetzun down and hafetzun lateral. Okay, this is the wrist area. If you take it from other position, here the shapes were a bit difficult with the tzuns. I will show it on the other side maybe. Basically, abdomen 2 supposed to be one tzun from stomach 24. Okay, which means it should be, it's not exact here in this picture, but abdomen 2 is halfway between the between stomach and spleen. Okay, so if you want to go directly to the wrist, you just need to go from stomach 24, one tzun out between stomach and spleen, and this is the wrist area. Okay, now it's also not exact here, but abdomen 3 is one tzun above abdomen 2, or half tzun lateral and half tzun above abdominal 1. So this is the thumb area. So it's like this way. Okay, the wrist is here and the abdomen is here. It was a bit more difficult for me to do this drawing, otherwise it will be a whole mess, but maybe for the next presentation I will build it. Time issues. So anyway, shoulder, stomach 24, abdomen 1, half tzun out, lateral, half tzun above, which is elbow, abdomen 2, wrist, half tzun lateral, half tzun below, and one tzun above is the thumb. Okay, this is for the other upper part. Abdomen 4 is the knee, okay, as the joint itself. How we find it? So we go to stomach 26, which is the hip. We go half tzun below, half tzun lateral. This is abdomen 4, knee joint. We have abdomen 5, which is the knee as the medial. It's 1.5 tzun from Ren 6. Okay, this is the level of Ren 6, CV6. And here we have many of the points which are connected to the lower back and to the knees. So we have abdomen 5, abdomen 6, which is half tzun below and half tzun lateral. Again, one tzun from stomach, between stomach and spleen. Abdomen 6, this is the ankle. And abdomen 7 is kind of between the, I will say mostly I will do it on the line of the kidney, but also more closely to the CV, to the Ren-My channel. Okay, and abdomen 8 in between 5 and 7, which is the knee, which works mostly on the bones, like the joint itself. Okay, so again, we have abdomen 1 as elbow, abdomen 2 as wrist, abdomen 3 thumb, abdomen 4 as knee, like stomach 24 as hip, abdomen 4 knee as the joint, abdomen 6 for the ankle, abdomen 7 lumbar, the area of L23, abdomen 8 as the knee. Okay, so now, okay, before this one, I will just mention the major points, okay, like the point indications. So we have, okay, well, questions. Let me just go for a second on these. Okay, wait. Okay, so I'm with Casey. What vertebra would correlate with CV8 and how would you hypothetically treat it since you wouldn't needle there? Okay, so Casey Hill, about your question about CV8. I will not use CV8. I can use kidney 16 in all conditions of back pain. Okay, like I will say it's more the area of thoracal vertebrae, and mostly I will combine it when I want to work on blood to balance bladder meridian, and I will use kidney points on that. So CV8 I will use Moxa in cases I want to work specifically on that specific point. But as you can see in this diagram, the area of like middle, it's exactly the middle. Okay, so it's a bit above, let's say if I have a back pain that goes all over the muscles, so I will just puncture the points all over the kidney line. Even there are no classical points here, I will use acupoints. Later on the examples and the showcase and the case studies, I will show examples of how I use it. Also near the umbilicus, okay, but not exactly on that. If I want to work to stimulate CV8, I will use mostly Moxa because it's forbidden to treat it or to puncture it directly. I hope I answered. Do palpate to find the exact reaction point. So it's a good question, Ilana. It's sometimes I will just touch the point in order to see if it reacts even before I puncture. If I have time and I'm not under pressure with the patients, I might check it, but I prefer to just puncture. So it's possible to press, like gently, to press the area and to see if there's reaction, if there's a change. I know I use it, there's what's called M-test, if you know, it's Japanese method of working with I use it with the press needles. But very, very easy way to use is, okay, so for example, I want to check if there's a pain here, and then I check few points, I just touch them. It's more from Japanese acupuncture, but I just touch the point and I ask to make the movement once again and to see if there's a change. If there's a change, okay, that's great, I'll puncture there. So maybe if this is what you meant by palpating, it's actually possible to do that. For me, sometimes it's just easier just to puncture and to check. If not, I'll puncture again. Can you post the original copy of the Chinese chart later? I don't have it in such a good quality. Again, I have it this way, but if you just search on Google abdominal acupuncture, you can find them quite easily and faster than what I will do that. Okay, in good quality also. There are different qualities. Are the fingers pointed down and the thumb pointed up? No. It's a good question. I hope basically the shape is like this, exactly like this. So the fingers are like in this way and the thumb is up. Okay, this is again in the original shape. Maybe if you can see that. I know it's a bit okay. Can you see this? Okay, so abdomen 3 is the thumb, but in these kind of cases, all you need to do is just ask the patient if there's a change. If there's no change, puncture another one. Up to 3 needles in the same area, it's okay. Do you have locations written down? I don't have the locations written down, unfortunately, but it's very easy. Just Haftzun, all the new points are Haftzun, lateral and above. And except abdomen 2 and 3 and 6, which supposed to be more like in the mid-line between stomach meridian and spleen meridian. Okay, just in order to, otherwise it would have been very, very narrow. But just besides this, it's all Haftzun above, below, and lateral. Okay, does anyone know if these diagrams will be shared? Okay, Kimberly, if you mean these on the slideshow, on the presentation, with me, there's no problem. I mean, if they are used only for the purpose of study, okay. Sorry, once. Okay, so, okay, with me, my aim is that you will have this PowerPoint. Just to ask Donna to send it to you. No problem with me. Okay, Sheldon, I can't keep up with point location either. Okay, but it's really easy. I mean, again, if it's the first time you hear about this method, just take it easy. Don't worry. Look over and over again on this presentation and start practicing this. It will be easy after a while. Of course, any new method needs some time to adjust, but don't worry. Just practice it. I tried to make this graphics, I will say, in the most in the easiest way, most understandable way that you can use it in your practice, in your clinic. And if you go by this, by the basic points, it will be good. Don't worry. Okay, Pinterest. Okay. Is the turtle face up or face down? The turtle face up. Okay, so then ab2, one soon lateral to 24. Yes, Victoria, yes. The original chart has the face looking up as it was laying on its back. Yes, as I said, okay. Okay, good, thanks. So let's continue. So I will just, I will talk about the point, the major points and the different levels of puncturing them. It means what we can how we can use them. So I will not go through all the points of the abdomen, just the major important points. We have some, okay? So I will start with the CV12. So on the shallow level, it will work on the mouth problems, face issues, headaches, upper body, like everything which is up. Also, it means the mental aspects. If the patient has some kind of depression or tiredness, okay, all these, CV12 on the shallow, on the superficial. If it's on the deep level, so it tonifies the spleen. All types of digestion problems, we can add to that also CV10 if it's not strong enough. And this combination of CV12 and 10 is a very good combination, which I use a lot to work on all the upper part. Okay, from basically we cover the whole head and neck with that. So, you know, it's like stomach 9, large intestine 18 as window to heaven points, which are helping us to connect the mind and the body together. So many times I will use these points, these 2 points, CV10 and 12 together for all these issues. Okay, so on the deep, it will tonify the spleen. If just CV12 is not strong enough. According to the 5 elements, later on in the next slide, we'll talk about the Ba Gua, but in the 5 elements, it balances the fire. So every pathology basically which combines head, face, I use it a lot for cosmetic issues also. If it's for the hair, so I will use the different points, just acupoints, just between CV10 to CV12 to CV13. I will just use a whole line of needles, like 5, 6, 7 needles, just on this area to help nourishment on the medium level, like medium level to help to nourish with blood to the whole face. Cases of acne, when I can't work locally on the face and I want to use also distal points on whatever, depends on the diagnosis, but let's say stomach, lung, spleen, doesn't matter, okay? Liver, whatever. But local points, if I want to affect locally, I will use points just on the areas, if it's on the forehead or if it's on the cheeks or if it's on the chin, depends on the area and the shape or the location of the acne. Okay, so even without a differential diagnosis for the problem, if it's pain issues, headaches, migraines, all these, I will put CV12 with some acupoints around it. CV10, on the superficial level, it's again the level of C7 vertebra. It's connected to the throat, thyroid gland. I have an example, one of the cases with thyroid issues, which is really working for her very, very good. In many cases, I will put some, what's the name of these? The ones that we put on the ears, okay? Sorry, it's the end of my day. I'm like, some help. Seeds, ear tags, seeds, yeah, or even intradermal needles. I will put them with some plaster and they will be kept for even, I had a patient that used to come to me every 3 weeks for a treatment, and I was putting like intradermal needles of like 0.6 millimeters directed to the kidney line, like the area of CV, like this area, the lower part. So I used to put like 3 or 4 intradermals here and here, both sides. It was perfect for her. For 3 weeks, she used to put plasters on it that they won't fall down, but it works amazingly. Okay, and it helps basically. It's like takeaway treatment. So I will put all these ear seeds, basically, Painless yellow. I use mostly the orange with Painless. It's 0.3 millimeter. It's you don't feel the needle at all. Okay, so it's amazing. It works really, really, really well. Okay, so so I was talking again about CV10. So neck, throat, thyroid mostly works on the muscles. Tension headache is also very useful and helpful when the pain comes from the neck area. Okay, and the deep level. So this was superficial needling. On the deep level, it will support also CV12 in tonifying the spleen and problems of the vertebrae, okay, and the bones themselves. CV9 is very useful for us. We know it from TCM as a point which is connected to dampness, okay, wind damp and so on. So on the medium level, let's say start with the medium level, it will be very good for herniated disc, all kinds of disc issues on the upper part, on the neck and a bit below. And for the deep, on the deep level, I will use it to eliminate dampness. Okay, it's different from stomach 40, for example. And they will use it mostly when with combination with points on the lower back, okay, like CV6, CV4, when there are problems of back pain because of dampness. Okay, we see that a lot in when the whole area, when there are problems of daimai or problems of like dampness on the lower abdomen or lower GI, basically. So it will be a good combination for these cases. It can be also prolapse of the vertebrae and the areas there. So CV8, again, as I mentioned, I don't puncture it, but we can use moxa as the cake or the salt cake, as I saw only in China. I don't use it in my clinic. Salt, and above the salt, so you put salt all over the belly area. I mean, after, you put some fabric or something, put the salt on, and on the salt, you put the moxa as like pyramids. And so it's good for that, or a moxa box. It's also possible to put on this area. It will be useful mostly for poo digestion. Okay, that's the main help for that. The system is based on the point, on CV8, but not based on treating this point. The point is like the fountain of the whole method, but we don't work on the specific point. Then we have CV6. CV6 is a major point for, again, it works, it's parallel for the level of L2, L3. We will always use the deep level of needling, not the shallow. Same goes for the CV4. And on the deep level, it will tonify the chi. It will work on irregular menstruation, all the gynecology issues, fatigue, all kinds of deficiencies, infertility, impotence, and all the back pain issues. Okay, because back pain, that's the area. Okay, L23 to L5-6, sacrum, all this area. So I will put many needles on this area. Okay, I will just kind of put not much as possible. I will put them on the specific lines and locations, but I will later on, I will show you on the examples. Okay, so CV4 is the area of the deep. Again, we puncture only deep. The area of L4, L5, balancing the kidney, the lower back, all types of disorders of L4 and 5, young Qi deficiency, prolapse, pain, all kinds of chronic pelvic inflammations, might be diarrhea, to support the weakness of this level. Mostly these aspects. So the kidney line from CV4, we have kidney 13. So the kidney line will support muscles mostly. Muscles of the back, kidney balancing bladder. So it's very useful, very helpful, very strong treatment. And again, if a patient suffers from low back pain and you puncture the back, like the bladder points locally, it will be quite difficult to ask from the patient to move and to see if there's a change in the pain. Okay, it's not possible. Anyway, they are afraid of the needles and they won't move much. But when they lay on the back and we can lift the leg up to check if there's pain, okay, you know, when the patient lies on the back and we lift the leg up straight, we see the bladder meridian. Okay, if the patient feels the pain on the back, so we know, okay, bladder meridian is not balanced. But so we can do this if we puncture these points of the lower back and we lift the leg up. It's possible to see immediate change even then. If not, again, I can use some other distal points, kidney 7, bladder 65, or kidney 1, bladder 67. Very good point, very strong point. If you work with balance method, Dr. Tan, whatever, Linku combination, also good option. Whatever you do, it's possible to see if you work with scalp, so you check the D point, like Yamamoto scalp acupuncture, any other distal points that you can use also to see and to find some immediate change. Okay. Yes, I said kidney 4. Sorry, I meant CV4. Sorry. And for muscles, yes, CV4 for the muscles of the lower back. Yeah, kidney balancing bladder. Okay, also on this area. Okay, thank you for correcting me. Okay, the next point will be, so we have done CV3 also. We can talk about this point as working on the tailbone and sacrum area, which is difficult to treat. But because locally it's difficult to treat it, it's not so pleasant for patients also. In China, it's not a problem. In the West, again, for me, it's not so pleasant to, to take down their underwear and to work on all the area. That's for me, especially if it's women. So if I have other options, so CV3 is still not that intimate in comparison, okay, to other areas. So the options usually that I will use to work on the sacral area and coccyx will be with this method. It's also possible with sujok, which I will talk next week. I will be happy to see you next week also. So in sujok, it's the area, if you see this, it's this area of the coccyx. So it's very easy to treat this area, but also with balance method, it's possible to treat the area of like the kidney line and the upper part of the kidney. Okay, it's also parallel to the coccyx and sacrum. Okay, so we have few options, but with abdominal, these points are very good. Okay, CV3 with kidney 13 to kidney 12. Okay, and all the points between also. And we can direct them inside, like in diagonal, directed to the CV line, because this area is more narrow. Okay. Okay, how often, frequent do you treat CV4 for acute back pain? Again, as much as possible. I would prefer to do it at least twice a week or 3 times a week. But if it's not possible, I will just put the stickers there, like the intradermal or, you know, the ear needles. This is what I mean with the ear needles. Okay. Okay. Also, I use a dongbang usually, and so there are different. Maybe this will shine less at the company, but you know, yeah. So this is like 1 millimeter usually, and the depth it's straight. With the intradermals, I can direct the needle a bit. It's not just 90 degrees. Dermals direct it to different locations and get even a better result. But again, patient needs to agree to this. Can this method be helpful at all with skin disorders? Tell the truth, except acne and hair issues, I didn't really try it for other issues, to tell you the truth, but I'm very open to all you know, innovations or you know, explorations of any system, any method. We just need, you know, in the practice, we need to find these options just to try. Okay. So next point, kidney 17. So kidney 17 is a super important point, which is connected, it's on the level of CV10. So kidney 17 on the shallow works on the neck and shoulder problems. So if CV10 is working on the midline, okay, on the vertebrae, okay, and on the spine, so kidney 17 will work mostly on the bladder muscles and gallbladder muscles also, okay, the whole area of the muscles. And then I need to check again if the pain is on the bladder, so kidney 17 is good. If the pain is gallbladder, maybe I can direct the needle a bit in like diagonal in order to find the exact point, okay, that changes the condition. So it treats neck, shoulder problems when there's pain that goes from the neck to the shoulder, even to the hand. So kidney 17 is very important. And the trapezius a bit deeper than the shallow, between the shallow or the superficial to the middle. Okay, this is to the trapezius, and the middle level of puncturing, it will be for the meridians, again, bladder meridian, to send chi and blood to the upper body. Again, all the connection, like, as I mentioned, stomach. So, for example, the levels or how deep I go. So I will turn to the side a bit to profile. If I want to work on the thyroid gland, okay, or on the throat issues, I will puncture very superficially. Okay, maybe I'll show it this way. Okay, so I will puncture superficially. If I want to go a bit deeper to the muscles, so it will be the midline, okay, the middle level. And if I want to go deeper to the vertebrae, I will go deep, okay, to the neck or to the discs or whatever. Okay, I hope I showed it in a, I mean, if you turn the turtle to the side, you work on the different levels according to the location of the pain, also with the depth of that. Okay, so this is about kidney 17. Another thing, actually, yeah, on the deep level, it will also work on the organ. So the organ, which is connected here as kidney, is working on kidney qi, the different deficiencies of the organ itself. Okay, now we have kidney 13. Kidney 13 is also, yeah, if I'm going on the kidney line, so kidney 13, 14 and 13 are important points for the lower back, or direct qi to the lower body, basically. And the mid, again, we don't puncture them superficially there, we just go medium and deep. So kidney 13 will work on the lower back pain. It's parallel to bladder 25 on the lower back, working on the muscles and also connected to the gynecology or gynecological problems, issues that go from the lower back. Okay, and this is kidney 13. We have abdomen 7 next to us here, also on the same area. So AB7 next to CV6 on the line of bladder 23. So brings qi to the lower body, mostly punctured with CV6. And the medium puncture connected to the blood and meridian supporting, and basically all the back pain. So if there's lower back pain, I will, without thinking much, I will do CV6, abdomen 7, and CV4, and kidney 13. Mostly these are the points that I will combine for every back pain. Then we have, let's go up again to stomach 24. So stomach 24, that's the major point that has the ability to treat both spleen and stomach and to tonify the qi. So it says in the Su Wen that the Yang Ming rules flesh. So this main point is this point is the main point for circulating qi and blood to the upper limbs. So all the energy that we want to support with all kinds of problems. So on the shallow puncturing, it will be connected to the shoulder problems. If it's pain, if it's post-stroke, if it's just pain. And the middle, it will regulate the meridians, sending the qi and blood to the hands through the meridians. So again, after CVA, atrophy, or any kind of weakness, if it's on the deep level, it will be for tonifying spleen and stomach. If it's any kind of distension, stomach ache, diarrhea, and so on, it can work also on that. Even though it's on the upper part, still it has the influence on the stomach level. Okay, we have abdomen 1, which I mentioned before. It will be mostly for the elbow pain. A shallow needling will be supporting like all elbow problems. The middle will be with a special function also eliminating flu, wind. Later on we will see because of the directions of the Ba Gua. On the deep level, if it's on the right side of the patient, it will balance the wood. Okay, if it's on the right side, it will balance the wood energy. If it's on the left side, it will balance the earth. Later on, we will see in the next slide of the Ba Gua. Abdomen 2. Abdomen 2 is shallow needling for all kinds of disorders of the hand and the wrist. Any kind of tunnel carpal syndrome, all kinds of issues for students who have writing a lot. There are also those who write with pen these days, and not only computer, but also computers. When people are with computers and they have all kinds of wrist problems, this point is very, very useful, very easy to use it. Okay, then we go down to stomach 26. Stomach 26 is the hip point. And so on the shallow, it will work on the hip, local symptoms. It might even come from the lower back, sciatica issues and so on. Any problem with the hip, it can be the bones or whatever. On the middle level of puncturing, it will be to send chi and blood to the legs in all kinds of conditions of leg pains, atrophy, paralysis, numbness that affects the whole leg. Okay, and on the deep level, it will tonify spleen and stomach when it's on the right side. If it's on the left side, it will be connected more to the metal issues. Later on the Ba Gua, we will see that. And next point will be, let's talk about abdomen 6. Abdomen 4, first of all, abdomen 4 is the knee. And again, it's a half tsum down or below stomach 26 and half tsum lateral. This is the point of the knee. So basically, it's the knee joint, mostly the bones. If there are issues with the bones, it will be good for that. If you go to abdomen 6, it's half tsum below and half tsum lateral. So it's the ankle, all kind of ankle, foot issues. We can actually see that as also all types of foot, drop foot, sprain, post-stroke. Okay, but with stroke issues, we also need to treat the brain. It's mostly more important the brain, so we can work on the head. Okay, let me see if I didn't miss anything here. So I talked about abdomen 4, abdomen 6, abdomen. Yeah, so basically it's one tsum from stomach 27. I know it's not exactly with the line of the spleen here, but again, it's one tsum from stomach 27. Who else? I see there are questions. Okay, let me just check the chat. Oh, there are long ones. Okay. Okay. Okay, I see something about regulations, which is not connected to me. Okay. Okay. Okay, license and stuff like that. Well, not with me. Okay. I mentioned stroke in condition of hip issues or stomach 26 and these points. When due to a stroke, there's no movement or difficulty of moving the leg. Okay, this is what I meant with stroke, but of course, we will treat the source of that, which is the brain, okay, the head. So I work a lot with the Yamamoto scalp acupuncture for all these conditions, works very well. Or if not, it's possible to work neurology with anything which is connected to dumai, liver, gallbladder, all points which enter the brain, basically bladder, mostly these. Okay, so other points which I didn't mention, let me just be sure. Stomach 25. So it's like the heavenly pivot, which makes the connection between the young and the yin between heaven and earth. It's the mu point, the front mu point of the large intestine. Mostly we will puncture it on the middle level. Connected to the eliminates damp and heat. It's good for excess conditions when there are stomach issues, but also deficiencies. Again, I use it in a combination with the with spleen 15 also. Later on, I will explain that. So on the superficial, it's pain on the belt area. On the medium level, digestive system problems, good for complicated conditions in patients that have many pathologies altogether. So it will be a good point to balance, like to stable the whole shape. It's balancing, again, the yin and yang at the deepest level, the 5 elements of spleen, stomach. In fat people, if there are fat people with big belly, I will puncture it from the side, like in diagonal, like 45 degrees, okay, in order to get to the deeper level. Okay, and spleen 15, with that, in connection to that, spleen 15. So it works very well on lubricating the joints, conditions of fibromyalgia, rheumatism, and it has a very strong combination, okay, sorry, spleen 15, with stomach 26 and 24. It's like a triangle that works on the sides, work on the shape, like holding things up. Okay, and also stomach 25 can be a good combination with that. Okay, so I was talking about all of them, I think. Maybe abdomen 5, which I didn't mention on this part, which is the medial knee, the area of spleen 9, liver 8. So the medial part of the knee. And again, it's Haftzun inferior and medial to stomach 26. Level of stomach 26. Okay, but Haftzun from the Haftzun inferior and lateral to 20, yeah, stomach 26. It's the knee joints. Okay, yeah. So, okay. Before this one, okay, so this is the, okay. So next will be the Ba Gua, but before that, maybe we'll take a break. I'll just check if there are any questions. Okay, I'm just checking. Stroke, treat at turtle head, yes. With that, with the question of Victoria, you wrote down that AB6 has to do with brain. Okay, it has to do with the brain if it's because of, if there's difficulty to move the leg because of stroke that affected the whole side and affected the leg too. So in cases of stroke, we need to work on the brain. It means head area, head brain area, with the specific limbs which are affected. So if it's the hand, I will use stomach 24. If it's the hip or leg, I will use stomach 26 too, with the certain points which are connected also there. Okay, so it can be abdomen 4 and abdomen 6. Okay, so the whole leg area or all the hand area. Stomach 24, abdomen 1, abdomen 2, hand and leg. Okay, that was the meaning. Okay, so there's another question from Gail. What area to treat sharp stabbing pain on right medial side of the scapula? Okay, so let's take a a look at that. Later on, I have some examples also for explaining this, but if you just go by your imagination, okay? The scapular area is around here, between, let's say, kidney 17 to kidney 16. Okay, this area might be the scapula, okay, next to the elbow, just a bit down. So I will do the basic protocol, which I will explain. But specifically for that area, I will guess. It's not exact, okay? But I will just guess. So the patient is laying on the back. You just need to ask, okay, move the hand, you lay on, the patient lays, you ask the patient to move the hand in a certain way that they feel the pain in like the sharp pain of the scapula. And then you start, so you can check by palpating the area and like feeling, okay, does that improve or not? Or if not, just go straight, just put few needles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even 6 needles all over the area on the kidney line. If it's on the scapula and more lateral side, like more out, put another line outer than that, okay? Take like 1 cun from the kidney, okay, between the kidney to stomach line. Try, you need to try that. If it doesn't work, go with the other systems. But there's, I think, in these kind of conditions, if it's not mentioned that there's a specific point for that organ or for that area, so Professor Bo or other doctors that developed this system or were working with this system, they just said, okay, so it's not exact. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it will not work. Okay, so we need to check. You need to see if it works for you with the patient. In many cases, it's like magic. Wow, immediate result, immediate change. If not, okay, we have other methods too. Okay, still we have enough. Okay, so I hope I answered. And okay, so let's take a break. Let's take like 15 minutes. I believe it will be enough. And we will be back in 15 minutes. If you have any other questions, please write them down. And that's it. Let's take a break. I will start answering them and continue with the other stuff we have. Okay? So see you in a bit. Bye for now.
All right. We'll come about 11:15 Pacific time, Aaron.
Yes. Great.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Recording stopped.